Lisa truly has the keys to LV, you guys. Like, her relationship with the brand is already quite strong. So just a recap for you guys, Lisa has been involved with Louis Vuitton for a little bit now. She was only recently announced as the official house ambassador for Louis Vuitton. And I think a lot of people felt like that was a long time coming, because even before she was announced as that, she went to the Louis Vuitton show for Fall Winter 24, like Nicolas Guesquier's 10-year anniversary show. And like, it was a pretty major appearance, because it was the first time she showed up to a fashion show since becoming a brand ambassador for Celine. And I think now that she announced that she's a house ambassador for Louis Vuitton, like, that obviously was like the official confirmation that she's no longer the ambassador for Celine, right? Not that we even needed any more confirmation, but it's just like, this is the final confirmation that that's it. She's done with Celine, she's now at Louis Vuitton. And this goes back, what I'm saying goes back to even when she went to the Louis Vuitton Fall Winter show before she was an ambassador. So when she attended that show, usually what K-pop idols would do, or what a lot of press and media and celebrities would do, is that when they go attend the latest show, they'll either wear looks from that current season, or they'll wear looks from the show that they're about to show. Like, so let's say Louis Vuitton is showing their Fall Winter 24 show. Celebrities will come to the show already wearing some of the pieces from the Fall Winter Louis Vuitton show, or maybe they'll be wearing it from Spring Summer 24, whatever the case may be. But when Lisa appeared at the show, she actually didn't wear any current season or any upcoming season ready to wear at all. She actually wore outfit from the Spring Summer 18 collection, which is so crazy. And it's even crazy because way back in 2018, Blackpink, they wore looks from the Spring Summer 18 collection in the. They shot a campaign with Elle Korea for like their Louis Vuitton's twist bag, and they wore Spring Summer 18 looks. And then fast forward 6 years later, she wore looks from the same collection to the runway show. We love a full circle. I've talked about this a little bit on my history of Louis Vuitton video with K-pop. So if you want to learn more about the relationship between Louis Vuitton and K-pop, definitely go check out that video. You actually can learn a lot from that. But yeah, so Lisa wore a look from Spring Summer 18 to the Fall Winter 24 show. And then from there, I think we could already tell, or like I and a lot of other industry people could already tell, that her relationship with Louis Vuitton was going to be a little bit different than normally, in the sense that she has a little bit more access to the archives, I would say. And then not even just for the show, for the after party, she wore a dress from the Louis Vuitton Cruise collection, which is actually one of my favorite cruise collections ever. I think it was like the Cruise 2017 collection that happened in Rio de Janeiro. So, such a major look. So for her to pull two older looks, I don't want to say archive because they're really not, they're only like 6-7 years old, which is still pretty old. But yeah, she pulled two looks from the Louis Vuitton archive to wear for two key events that day. So we already knew something was up, like her relationship was gonna be a little bit different, and it was great to see, because something about seeing your favorite K-pop idol wear some of your favorite pieces from one of your favorite brands, like, it's just hitting so differently. So that happened, and then fast forward, she got signed on as a Louis Vuitton ambassador, and since then, she's still wearing a lot of archive pieces, you know. She wore a piece from 2018 for one of her latest videos, for I think one of a performance video or like a teaser video. So that was very major as well. And another major thing she's worn recently is that she wore a Louis Vuitton Murakami collaboration Speedy bag. That's like super ultra rare, and it's from maybe like 2008, I want to say, when Louis Vuitton did a collaboration with Takashi Murakami for like a camouflage monogram print bag. So she wore the Speedy, and the fact that she has access to Speedy, I don't know, maybe she bought it, or maybe she has access to the Louis Vuitton archive, or they just gave it to her. But I think it's really major that she's showing a different aspect of Louis Vuitton, a different time period or different eras of Louis Vuitton, rather than just signing on and showing what's current Louis Vuitton, right? Because this is also major because Nicolas Guesquier is Louis Vuitton. Nicolas Guesquier is the creative director of Louis Vuitton Women's, and a lot of his work centers around this idea of time. Time is a very big part of Louis Vuitton's house codes and DNA. So for her to show different time eras of Louis Vuitton, it's pretty major. So like I was saying earlier, they're trying to utilize her in a different way, or maybe she's just more interested in older Louis Vuitton, or she just wants access to pieces that maybe not a lot of people have access to. So she's really flexing that. I love that she's in all these older pieces, and she's really showing us a different era of Louis Vuitton. And that Murakami bag, I feel like was really like, wow, like that really surprised me. I'm like, wow, like she's a fashion girl. Like she's really in it. She really knows what's up. Like, not to say that we already didn't know that before, but Lisa, time after time, continues to show us that she's such a cool girl. She's really in tune with what's happening. She really knows what's up. And her taste is just amazing. Like, what do you guys think of that? Like, have you guys been seeing her looks recently? Like, so many, like, she's really pulling from the archive, you guys. Like, she really has the keys to the Louis Vuitton archive. I'm really excited to see. Like, she's only begun her promotions for her solo activities recently. Like, she just released Rockstar, and like, she has so much more planned. She has a collaboration with Rosalia coming up. And then I'm just very excited to see what she has in store. Like, I know the thing with Lisa, another thing is that when she works with the brand, she goes all out. She really makes sure to like reflect the brand as best as she can. And she really gives the brand a platform. And in return, I think the brands, they have to give her a platform too. You know what I mean? Like she's giving your brand a big platform, and in return, like they love her and they want to reciprocate, right? So they also give her a platform, and they give her access, and they're giving her access to pieces that maybe not a lot of people have access to before. So her relationship with Louis Vuitton, even though it's only been like maybe not even one, it's been like 2 weeks, it's already clear that it's already a very strong relationship, and it makes me very eager to see what's coming up with that. One thing about Louis Vuitton, you guys, they're really going to make sure that they're on top of what's happening in K-pop. So yeah, what do you guys think of the relationship so far? Do you guys expect her to become the ambassador for Louis Vuitton? What do you think about the outfit she's been wearing with Louis Vuitton so far? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys search it up because it's actually very, very cool. So let me give Louis Vuitton the 10s for that. Jin and Gucci. Oop, that definitely happened. So Jin was officially announced as Gucci's newest ambassador. Very big deal. Very, very big deal. One of the biggest boy groups members signed with one of the biggest brands to be the ambassador. Like that's a huge, like this is a big, 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 big deal. Okay, so right after Jin finished his army enlistment, apparently Gucci had sent him gifts, and this was around the time of the Gucci cruise show. So they had sent him gifts and then, so fans were already, at that point, they were speculating that Gucci wanted to get Jin as a house ambassador or like brand ambassador. And then at some point, Sabato De Sarno, which is the creative director of Gucci, followed Jin on Instagram. So then that really added to the speculation that they're gonna get him. So like this went on for like, this was since maybe May, and it's now August, right? So it's been 3 months now, and I think that it would have been very major had they been able to get Jin to come to the Gucci cruise show that happened in May right after he left his military. Like that would have been a huge move for them to be able to do that. Like the timing would have been perfect. But because they missed that window of opportunity, obviously it was very hard. I'm sure it was very hard for them to make that possible, because right after he left the army, like for them to like sign the contracts and do all that and have him come to the show, like I feel like that would have just been like a lot to do, and it would have been impossible because yeah, like, so that was very hard. But had they were able to do that, that would have been like a very big deal. But because they had missed that window, and another factor that I think delayed this whole contract and announcement is that Jin, he was one of the torchbearers for the Olympics, for the Paris Olympics, right? And the Paris Olympics are actually sponsored by LVMH, which is the parent company of Louis Vuitton. And LVMH is one of the biggest competitors of Gucci's parent company, which is Kering. So Kering owns Gucci and LVMH owns Louis Vuitton. Not to say that they're huge like enemies, but they're rivals. They're like, it's their competitors, right? So I think that kind of delayed the announcement because they wouldn't, like the company Gucci wouldn't sign Jin on to become an ambassador, and then he would go on to represent or like go on under LVMH to run the torch for the Olympics, right? Like that would just be odd to me, in my opinion, or maybe that would just be kind of like a conflict, right? So maybe they have to wait until after the. I'm just speculating, by the way. Like this is not officially what happened. I'm just saying like this. That's maybe why the timeline was delayed in terms of the announcement. That Kering waited until after Jin did the whole LVMH torch bearing thing, and then after they finally signed the contracts, and he was finally became the ambassador at Gucci. And I think another thing is that when it comes to BTS, because of the scale, like the scale of BTS is so large, like that is one of K-pop's representative groups, right? Like that, whether you like BTS or not, you cannot deny that BTS is like one of the representative groups of K-pop. And I think because that's the case, and they're the flagship group of HYBE, of Big Hit. So that being the case, obviously, I mean, I'm sorry, I don't want to say obviously. That being the case, you could see why BTS would be very carefully managed by Big Hit, because that's their flagship group, right? Like that's their top IP, like they want to manage it carefully. So I think that when it comes to signing a contract with Gucci, I'm sure that Big Hit wanted a lot for Jin, right? They wanted to make sure that if he's going to be represented or if he's going to represent Gucci, that they have a lot of things in plan for him, or they're about to give him a platform, or they're about to have a lot of activities that would be matching the way he cares to the brand, right? Because I feel like at this point, Jin really doesn't need to be a house ambassador for any brand, really. He's very big at this point, right? He doesn't really need to be a fashion brand ambassador. Like I feel like Gucci needs him more than he needs Gucci, right? So for them to secure Jin, I feel like they would have to be able to show HYBE that, you know, like we're one of the biggest brands, we can do a lot with him, we have a lot planned for him, this is what we're going to do, XYZ, to really be able to convince him to be like, okay, yeah, we're going to give up Jin to be an ambassador now. Because the thing of being an ambassador is like, yes, it's very glamorous, and it gives you a big title like gives you a lot of weight to your fame, but at the same time, it can be limiting in some ways to be a brand ambassador, because now a lot of the times you can attend other shows or other runway shows with the brand, or you can do certain things with other brands because you're a house ambassador for XYZ brand, right? So I think, yeah, like I feel like the contract negotiations between Big Hit and Gucci probably took a long time to formalize it. And then fast forward to now, I'm glad it happened, because I think that in terms of the level of the brand and the group is at, or Jin is at, I think it matches well. But at the same time, I feel like Gucci right now is kind of, they really want to revitalize their men's collection. I think Sabato De Sarno, who's the creative director of Gucci, is really putting an effort into refresh the men's collections and really reinvigorate the men's. And I think Jin has the platform to show Gucci to a huge audience of people, right? Because if you're a creative director of a brand, I've talked about this previously before as well in one of my last videos, but if you're a creative director of the brand and you're refreshing the aesthetic, or you're introducing a new aesthetic to the brand, one of the most important things in that process is to be able to show what the refreshed aesthetic is to a large audience, right? So if Sabato is gonna kind of introduce a new aesthetic and like this is gonna be the new Gucci men's, he needs people to be able to show the new aesthetic to a large audience of people. And who is better to do that, honestly, than Jin from BTS, than someone from BTS, because they do have one of the biggest platforms in K-pop in terms of visibility, right? Because BTS is just the biggest boy group in the entire world. Like, there's no denying that. So Jin is probably the best person to do that. So I'm excited about the relationship, but again, I really expect to see a lot from it. I really expect to see Gucci be able to offer Jin a lot, because you can't sign someone of this fame and like fumble them. You know what I mean? That's why I kind of have mixed feelings about this, honestly. But yeah, I'm excited to see. This really is big news in my opinion. I'm gonna maybe do a whole video about this, but let me know what you guys think about this whole thing. But this is gonna be very interesting to see, especially because now, if you guys don't follow the industry, Gucci's kind of having their own like little identity crisis right now, because as I said, Gucci has a new creative director, and the previous creative director had a very strong aesthetic in place. It became very synonymous with Gucci. Like the look previously with Gucci became very recognizable, right? So this new look for Gucci doesn't really feel the same as the previous Gucci, which obviously is intentional, but it feels very detached from what Gucci was. So I think a lot of people feel as if they've lost the plot a little bit. And considering the current situation with the economy and whatever, and this new designer, sales of Gucci are like they're really dropping like massively. So they're in a kind of like a bad spot right now in terms of identity crisis and this whole economy. So it'd be interesting to see how Jin can impact the brand. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of this placement? Let me know in the comments what you guys think of it, honestly. Like, what do you think? It's a good aesthetic fit for the brand, or do you guys think it's not? Do you guys think it's a good fit for Jin? Do you guys think it's a good fit for Gucci? Do you feel like it's necessary? Let me know. Be honest, you guys. This is a spot where you can be honest with your feelings. But yeah, like that just like scratched the surface of how I feel about this whole ambassadorship. Like, I could talk for so long about the implications of this ambassadorship, especially because Gucci doesn't really have many K-pop idol ambassadors, actually, really and truly. They only have a few, and it's like they're very selective, their ambassadors, right? So and I also want to quickly mention that Jin, for the announcement photos, he wore some pieces from the Gucci like latest fall winter collection. I think it's the fall winter collection, either fall winter or like the spring summer. Oh, actually it might have been the spring summer 25 collection. But anyways, he wore the newest Gucci collection by Sabato De Sarno for the debut images for him and Gucci. So definitely go check those images out and let me know what you guys think of it. What do you guys think of the outfits? I personally like Sabato's men's Gucci a lot. I really do believe in it, and I think Jin has the potential to really show off it in a great way. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of it. Definitely check those images out, like I said. Thanks for spending some time with me, guys. If you guys made it to the end of this video, like really shout out to you guys. Honestly, shout out to you guys. Like, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel, watch my videos.